Hey guys, what's up? This is Jake.
And I'm Joel.
We're coming to you from Columbus, Ohio. Oh!
Cheers!
Cheers.
Yes.
We're going to be doing a movie review today. And not just any movie, a Marvel movie.
Oh man, awesome.
That's right. You love Marvel, don't you?
I do. Yes, I do love Marvel.
So you love Marvel? You love the Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yes, I do.
You love the Iron Man?
yes, I do. I do.
So you love good Marvel movies?
I love good Marvel movies.
Well,
yes.
That's too bad.
What?
Because we're not going to be watching a good Marvel movie. We're going to be watching the 1991 direct-to-video Captain America movie.
I've been had.
You've been had. It's not good.
It's not good. It literally says that on the back.
I'll be honest, yeah.
It's not good.
Now, I've actually seen this a couple times. I actually own this. But I saw it when I was like 8 years old, and I was like, this is the coolest movie ever. I love this. And then I saw it again when I was like 25 and was like, this sucks. It's not good. So you've never seen this, right?
No, I've never seen this at all.
Are you looking forward to watching it?
No. No.
What are your expectations, I guess?
I have none.
Okay. Well, we're going to watch it. We'll find out. We'll be back in a little bit and let you know what we think. Oh, watch me. I'm just as good as Civil War. Oh, yeah.
Hey guys, we're back, and we just finished Captain America. And I gotta say, wow. So much to talk about.
Yeah. What'd you think? First impressions. First time seeing it, what did you think?
First time seeing it, okay, do you want the good?
Yeah, let's go with the good first.
Okay, so good. It had so many great nostalgic qualities of a 90s movie that reminded me of so many classic 90s movies that I loved when I was a kid, like elements of like the movie Three Ninjas. I don't know if anyone remembers that movie.
I do.
Yeah. And even like it had similar like that cheesy 90s background music and like Lethal Weapon, like those kind of movies.
Yeah, this movie is total 90s, because it takes place in the 90s. Captain America, he was like in World War II, whatever. It was like 19. I think he's like 1940 something. Like when he first gets frozen. Then he wakes up in the 90s, and it's that kind of the same thing they did in the new movies where it's like he wakes up in modern times. And he's like, oh my gosh, what is going on? It's all weird, but it's like it's just funny to watch now because everything is. So all the style and everything, it's just 1990. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
The funniest thing to me is like, it is what it is,
Mm-hmm.
The movie actually, this says 1991. I guess it was actually from 1990, but maybe it didn't get released on video until 1991.
Yeah.
But I saw it like in the mid-90s, so I can't remember exactly.
Was it on TV?
It was on TV, yeah.
Okay.
But like I said before, like I was like, this is awesome. This is so cool.
Sure.
It's a Captain America movie, and it's like, he's like awesome in the movie.
Yeah, so if you grew up in the 90s, maybe you've seen this. But
Yeah.
I would also say, like, if you grew up in the 90s and you had some semblance of, if you're very nostalgic, I would recommend watching it just because it has so many great of those qualities of 90s movies that were so great at that time.
I mean, it's kind of harsh to really criticize the movie because the time it came out, it was what it was. Like, that's kind of how, like, obviously everyone was in the 90s style and everything.
Yeah.
But it's...
Batman had just come out.
Right, and this was kind of like Marvel's attempt to, like, compete with DC, like, oh, you guys make Batman, we're gonna make Captain America, we're gonna make it just as good as you guys did, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, obviously it's not as good. The costume is the biggest thing that, the first time in the movie we both were watching it and we laughed out loud was the first time you see him, you see him in the costume.
You see him in the costume.
He's sitting like in the plane, and it's that first shot, we both just lost it, because the costume looks ridiculous. You can see him, the picture on there.
But the costume is he's in full army garb.
Yeah.
And he's got his costume on underneath all the army garb.
Right.
And he's getting ready to parachute out. And he's got his he's got his freaking soldier helmet on, and it's just his mask, and
it just looks hilarious.
And then talk about the ears.
Yeah. There's a reason why that he doesn't have the actual wings on his head in the new movies because it looks stupid. You know,
Okay.
I know they're trying to keep it,
Original to the
they're
comics.
trying to be faithful to how they originally looks, but it looks so stupid. You know,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. And a fun fact about the movie is that when they made the mask, he couldn't put his ears through the hole, so they actually had to they had to put fake ears on the outside on the outside of the mask because they found they couldn't like cut through it or something.
Yeah, so they just slapped
Yeah.
some fake ears on there.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
man.
we were reading some fun facts about the movie. The guy who plays Captain America
Fun fact.
is Matt Salinger or
Salinger or Salinger?
How do you say it?
Well,
But, yeah, he's
J.D. Salinger, who wrote Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah, it's his son is the guy who plays Captain America in this movie, which is crazy. The movie, when they first made it, they did a test screening, and I guess it was really bad, so they had to do reshoots. And
What did Stan Lee say?
Stan Lee said something like, "Oh, they had to shoot more they had to shoot more scenes because the movie was so good that people wanted to see more."
It just tells you that.
Excelsior!
It shows you that Stan Lee is such a nice guy.
Yeah, he can't admit
He
that
can't even say that something
the
is
movie
terrible.
wasn't good.
He is,
But I mean, the movie is what it is. It's definitely a product of its time. It's kind of harsh to like
Yeah.
really bash it, but
yeah.
for the time,
There are things that I would say, like, going into it, I was hoping that it would have, like, elements where it was bad, that it was good, And I gotta say, like, there were parts that were so bad that I was just giggling and laughing so hard
Yeah.
because, and that in itself was enjoyable.
yeah,
I think probably my favorite part was his whole. So anytime he would be in a car with someone, he would.
it happens twice in the movie.
It happens
where
twice.
he's in a car with someone and he like is trying to basically get the other person out of the car to save them, and then drive the car off. So he pretends like he's
car sick.
Yeah, he pretends like he's gonna throw up. He's like, "Oh, you gotta pull the car over." And then they pull over, and he gets out like he's gonna throw up, and then the other person gets out of the car, and they're like, "Are you okay? What's going on?" And then he like, he like runs back to the car and just takes off and just leaves the person on the side of the road.
Yeah.
It's the funniest scene like ever. It's just, it happens
twice.
twice in the movie. It's so hilarious. when it happens.
Yeah, and there were just so many like great moments like that you were just like you just could not help but like laugh because it was just so bad.
Yeah. Weird things they change in the story too. Like it's basically the
Red Skull's Italian,
right. It's the basic Captain America story. It's like his origin story. So it's Steve Rogers in World War II, and he volunteers to become this super soldier. They inject him with a serum, and then the Nazis like they kill the person who creates the serum, and then he's the only guy who has like the powers. And then it's all about. Well, actually, Red Skull is in the movie too. They kind of create him. I guess they kind of create him the same way they do Captain America, but like just weird changes they made to the characters. Like in the comic, Red Skull is like a German, like
Yeah, he's a Nazi.
He's a Nazi, German. But in the movie, they made him Italian. Like I don't know why. They just were like, oh yeah, we'll make him Italian.
We'll make him Italian. And then he becomes a Nazi later
Right.
on, right?
I don't know.
In later flash forwards, and he's like he's a
Right,
Nazi.
and you only see him as like the Red Skull with like the red face and stuff. There's only like really one scene in the movie,
yeah,
and then it's back in the 40s, and then
he gets to the 90s and has Botox. And,
right, yeah, and he has like fake. I don't know, he has like a skin grafts or something.
Yeah,
And you're the whole time near the
and
end.
he's
of
got
the
a
movie,
hot daughter.
Right, the whole time at the end of the movie, you're like, okay, when's the face gonna get like pulled off? When are you gonna see the actual Red Skull again? It never happens.
Yeah,
You only get like I don't know 2 minutes of him actually as like the character, like the Red Skull as everyone knows him.
yeah.
Which is kind of like the opposite, I guess, of the newer Captain America, when the one with Red Skull, because like most of the movie he's wearing the fake face, and then like near the end, he tears it off,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh,
there
that's
it
it.
is.
So
Yeah.
it's like it's a weird reversal.
Yeah.
But yeah, one other thing that's really funny that we both made note of is that this movie actually has both the
Mom and dad.
both the mom and dad from
Christmas
The Christmas Story. Yeah.
So we were.
I know the dad's name, Darren McGavin, because he was in like Happy Gilmore and stuff too. So I know him, but he plays like I forgot. Who does he play?
Some government,
Yeah.
some like
General
some
or
military
something like
guy.
And then
The mom plays Steve Rogers' mom.
Yeah, so it's hilarious because you see her first, and we're like, "That's the mom from the Christmas Story," and then 20 minutes later, we're like,
there's
that's
the
the dad from the
Christmas Story.
And the guy Ned Beatty plays the president's like best friend who is involved in the whole story.
Yeah,
and it's hilarious because when he's a kid. When he's a kid, the kid looks just like Ralphie in
the Christmas Story.
So we're like, did this director
did that movie impact him?
Albert Pyun,
the guy he made Kickboxer 4,
Kickboxer, and like Cyborg, and like these awful movies. But we're like,
apparently Christmas Story made quite an impact.
Made a big impression on him.
He was blown away.
So
and had to reunite this cast.
Yeah. Definitely worth checking out if you're a fan of Marvel and you like the Marvel movies, and you might want to. You get a kick out of seeing like the early, I guess, attempts at making a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Obviously, it didn't work out for them. They tried. It was, it's like I said, it's kind of harsh to like totally bash this movie, but it definitely has its.
It's a product of its time.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not. It's funny. It's so bad. It's good.
Which has its charm. Like I said, like I gotta admit, like there were parts about it being in the 90s that I liked and appreciated for like nostalgic reasons.
Right.
But as far as like taking it like as a like serious like
yeah,
I would say when you turn it on, like go into it with low expectations and you'll be
just be prepared to laugh because you'll be laughing a lot in it.
Yeah, I mean, because it's kind of like we have all these great movies today, and it almost in a way it makes it fun because it almost makes this like satire.
Right.
It just makes it like a gag.
Yeah.
Almost.
So you can actually buy this. I'm sure the guys from the Con Guy will post a link where you can buy it. It's actually out on Blu-ray now.
Oh.
So you could, if you really want to buy it, you can get it.
Crystal clear.
Right. Yeah. Otherwise, you can check it out. Definitely, it's an experience to watch. It's so bad, it's good. But would you, I guess, recommend this to Marvel fans? And I guess bottom line, would you say check this out or just skip it?
I would recommend it to anybody who enjoys like. Who can walk into it and not take it so serious. Kind of like, remember when we saw Ninja Turtles, the first one? We walked into it with like...
You mean like the newer one?
Yeah, like the newer one. We had such low expectations.
The one from like 2014.
Yeah, we had like such low expectations. It was almost like we felt like we were going to watch an execution.
Right.
Like, we were like, okay, let's just get this over with.
Right.
But like we were pleasantly surprised. Yeah. And I think like if you walk into it like with an open mind and being like, okay, this is look at it more as comedic,
right,
as opposed to like a serious film.
Right.
But I would recommend it to anyone, especially people who are nostalgic and like movies of that early '90s time.
It's a weird recommend for me because I like I said before, it's a movie that's so bad, so cheesy that you have a lot of fun watching it.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the old Batman.
Right. It's not like a movie that's so bad you're just like, oh, I can't believe it. You get a kick out of watching it. You're like, this is hilarious.
Yeah, like
there's just really funny, really fun, cheesy.
He doesn't punch a shark in the face.
No,
but he definitely has like some funny stuff. Right. I won't go into spoilers, but
right.
Yeah, I would say this: like, I liked it better than I thought I would.
Yeah. So if you're a Marvel fan and you want to see some classic attempts at early Marvel movies before they really struck gold with their latest stuff, check out the 1990 Captain America film.
Yeah, and we're going to try to do some more reviews of other kind of early Marvel movies, and in fact, also too, there's an old X-Men cartoon from 1989 that... they made one episode, I believe.
They made a pilot in like 1989.
And an arcade game.
And it's like the same look, everything, but then it didn't get picked up, and then they eventually just released it as its own video. and then and I think it was like 1991 or whenever that was, or 1992 I think was
when Fox got hold of it,
Yeah,
and they
exactly.
made the animation that was like around that same era as like the early Power Rangers and
Right.
stuff.
So yeah, we plan on doing a couple different Marvel reviews here. We want to do like Punisher 1989. That's another one. The awful 1994 Fantastic Four movie that is so bad I can't even describe it. But it'll be a fun video to review.
Definitely, and I gotta say, like, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
All right.
So hey, thanks guys. I'm Joel, and again,
Jake.
This is Jake.
Yep.
Thanks for having us, and Excelsior.
See you later.